guys, it's the Davidsons, and welcome back to our channel. We previously posted earlier this week about basically a spontaneous decision we made where we're looking for an OB or a midwife. So we kind of wanted to give you guys a backstory to what happened, to what led to that video, and how we came to fire our OB. So as you know, it's Corona times, and you're not allowed to kind of like bring anyone to your appointments, not even your spouse. I was able to go to the first 2 visits, fortunately, so I was able to kind of, I met the doctor.
And then
I
you
was
got
able
to see
hear
the first ultrasound.
I was able to do that, which was really cool and really nice. So I didn't miss that, fortunately. But after that, they got more strict, and no one can go in the office. If you're with anyone else, they'd actually send you home. So, there's like a couple red flags with her OB.
I think the first red flag that I had was when I went to my first appointment without you, and my appointment literally lasted 2 minutes. And I remember I came home and I was like, that was the fastest appointment ever. Like, I saw my doctor, he checked the heartbeat, and as soon as he was done with the heartbeat, he was like, okay, see you next visit. And I was like, I literally told Sean, I was like, I guess they're just trying to get people in and out because of Corona, and they don't want to like expose us too much. But literally every single appointment since then has been that. I go, my nurse does my vitals, they don't ask me anything. And then I get into the room to see my OB, and then he'll walk in, he'll check the baby's heartbeat, and then he's like, okay, the baby's doing great. I'll see you next visit. And that's the end of my appointment. I've never lasted more than 5 minutes in the room with my OB.
So that was the first flag of not giving the attention she needs, right? He was in and out. There was no time to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
She had questions she had to ask the nurse first and hope they relate it to him so he can answer, or else again, like, he's in and then he's out. You have no time and everything is so rushed.
So I would have to tell the nurse, and then the nurse would tell him before he came in the room, and then he would like try to address it. I don't know if you guys have been following us this long, but I fell down the stairs twice in the beginning of my pregnancy, and then we went to urgent care, and since I was pregnant I couldn't get an x-ray, so they were like, just wait it out and hope that it gets better, basically. And now 9 months pregnant, I still have hip pain, so I would bring it up to him and he would just be like, oh, it's just because you're pregnant, it's just because you're pregnant, and basically dismissed it every single time. Yeah,
so you never took time to evaluate it, not even ask like, what happened, when do you feel the pain, is it in the morning, is it when you get up, or do you know what could have caused it? Just like, it's normal, it's part of pregnancy.
He literally, every single time he's like, it's normal, it's because you're pregnant, and your hips are like widening, and your pelvic, your pubic area is may be widening. True, but like, if someone's bringing up something to you that many times that it's bothering them and it's painful, at least spend a moment to actually evaluate and see what's actually going on. And another, like, one of the major red flags was, this will happen when I was there, but we didn't really, was I there? No, I wasn't there. But earlier on in the pregnancy, again, Jen did her blood work, which is how we kind of found out gender and stuff like that. And they didn't go over the results with you, right? They did not. I saw that my iron level was low, but then I was hoping that when I went in to see him that he would say, hey, Jen, your iron levels are a little off. But since he didn't say anything, I was like, okay, maybe it's not that low. So that's what I was like, okay, he didn't bring it up, so maybe it's not that low. And then like months later, I started feeling sick. So I made sure to tell the nurse like, hey, I've been feeling kind of weak. And I have a history of iron deficiency. So I don't think she even told him, because I had to tell him personally. I remember he was doing the heartbeat, and I was like, should I say something now while he's trying to listen to the heartbeat? And I just said something, and he was like, okay, I'll go check your paperwork.
Which was already, that's a huge red flag. The fact that he's just like, oh, let me go check, when it's like, you've had our results, you've had the blood work, you never looked at the blood work.
For months.
You know, so it's like, anything could have happened on that chart, right? And any of the results could have been off, and he never looked at them.
And to find out, he looked at my paperwork, and my iron was low, and I had to be put on iron pills, which I'm still taking now. And literally, he would have never realized that I have anemia if I wouldn't have brought it up to him. So that was another like really big.
That was the biggest one, like the biggest one thing. And then, but all of it compiled together was kind of what led to the whole thing. It was literally over this weekend, this past Sunday. And like Jen was upstairs, I was like downstairs or whatever, and I came up and she was in her little rocking chair, saw her rocking. And I was, I don't know what I asked her about, but you could just tell from her tone, like, you know someone, you tell from her tone, it's like, something's not right. I was like, you okay? She's like, yeah. I was like, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm like, all right, man. Like, what's really going on? And then like, she just like broke down, like, I just don't know if I'm ready for this pregnancy. I'm like, yo, it's like 37 weeks. What are you talking about? Like, what's going on? Like, cause I didn't really know everything that was happening and all the other issues, because I wasn't able to attend to all basically any of the visits. So she kind of broke down, said she's not ready, she doesn't feel comfortable with her doctor, and I was kind of like, why? And that's how we got to like that whole situation. So immediately I was like, obviously, like, well, let's figure something out. Like, can we change OBs? And obviously, there's a lot of pressure at that late in your pregnancy. Like, not a lot of OBs will take you, so we're kind of just like scrambling to see what other options we had.
What happened, what really got me there was the day before that all happened. I had my OB appointment and they did my cervix check, and it was like the cervix checks hurt no matter what, so I'm not gonna say that it's not supposed to hurt, but he did it very aggressively, one, and two, he did it in the 2 minutes span that he was in the room with me. And it was literally like, he didn't give me a heads up, like, I'm gonna go in. And then he had a student there too, and I'm like waiting for him to tell me, hey, I'm gonna go. And I just feel the pain, like a sharp pain hit me, and I was like, okay, I guess we just did it. And then he was in and out, and he was like, all right, see you next week. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Literally my body, like, I literally jumped, like my whole body jumped. In my head, I was like, maybe since there's a student here, he'll take his time because someone has to learn how to do this. No. Yeah. I know she did not. She was probably as confused as I was. But yeah, so can I just say also, another thing that like has been bothering me since the beginning, because every OB, every midwife, every whatever that I've ever been to, he never helps me get up from the bed. Like, I'm 8 months pregnant, I could barely get up from anything. And his thing is super flat, and I'm always laying there, and after he's done, I'm like, so you gonna give me a hand? And he sees me struggling getting up, and I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta do this by myself.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of those little things that kind of led us to like, all right, well, let's change, right? It's late, but regardless, if you're not happy or comfortable with the person that's gonna deliver your baby, you don't want to be in a stressful situation on your delivery day. Like, it's already stressful as it is, right? So if you can find a way to make it more comfortable, whether it's late or not, then let's try to do that. So that's what we're currently doing, and we want to go with this midwife, and we'll see if it's gonna actually fully work and we can actually do it in time. Right now we're just waiting on paperwork to go through and all that jazz, and then it should be good. We'll have a midwife instead of an OB. So we hope that you guys learned something from this, or at least gave you something to think about with your own OB if you're in a similar situation, or you're even thinking about OB, just some things to look for, or some signs that
it's time to fire your OB.
Yeah, right. That'll let you know, hey, this guy gotta go, or this lady's gotta go.
Yeah.
They're not doing a good job, or they don't have. I mean, they're supposed to be caring for you, right? So that's the most important part too. So just some things we noticed, and maybe that'll help you pick out some things earlier on and not wait till the last minute or till you're 36 weeks or 37 weeks before you make a decision. You can do it earlier if you see similar things, right? So, and like, we saw instantly the first day that we went to see the midwife how different everything was. 100%. It was literally like a 180, and she answered all of my questions in that one day, she even answered things that I didn't personally ask her that I was always wondering. Yeah, so, all like the issues about her pain, she was able to kind of address it right away. Yeah, she addressed it. Like, this is why you're getting that. This will help alleviate some of your pain, which the guy never did, right? He never evaluated to find out why and what could be done to fix it. She figured out my like other pains that I was having just on that one visit, just by touching my stomach. My OB had never touched my stomach. Never measured her belly. We did all this on the same day with the midwife went to visit, and already right off the bat measured her, checked her stomach, told her what's going on, the position of the baby, exactly everything, and how to help with whatever pain she's having right away, right off the bat, just in the first visit. So literally night and day difference from what's been going on before. Yeah. And that's how it should be, right? So they should have your best interest in mind. They should be communicating with you, letting you know what's going on with your pregnancy. As always, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. It really helps us out. At the very least, leave a thumbs up, and if you can, leave a comment. But yeah, let us know if you guys have had any
similar
stories with your OBs or horror stories or something like that, or if your story was even great, like you loved your OB, like they went over and beyond, like let us know down below.
Or if you feel like I'm over exaggerating and it was normal. All right.
That's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, we appreciate all of you.